Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Today I get to share with you for my Try It Out Tuesday a project made with a Stampendous stamp set. It's a stamp and die set and it's called a Monkey. Super cute, and it's actually made to coordinate with a Windowrama cutting die. Now I have never played with one of these before, but it creates a real fun, it's a die set that creates a 3D window card that will flatten and fit into an A2 size envelope. So we're going to, well, here on the back side you can see the inspiration of how it's intended to be created. But today I think we're going to amp it up just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start off by doing some stamping. I have my Memento ink and a piece of Nina 80-pound cardstock. I'm going to start off by stamping my monkey. And once we have him stamped, we're going to throw in 5 bananas. We're going to stamp 5 bananas. Now I did do my coloring off screen, guys, to save a little bit of time because I wasn't sure how long the video would go with creating the little box. And so if you want to know the colors, I'll list them over on my blog. I know sometimes you guys want to know the colors. But these are just the images that I'm going to color in. And again, using my Copic markers, I colored them in. And isn't that little monkey so cute? I just fell in love with him. Okay, so there are coordinating dies, which makes it super easy. And the nice thing about the Stampendous dies is they cut all the way to your stamp line. So we're going to just die cut out our monkey and our bananas. And then while we're at it, we're going to stamp our sentiment. So on a piece of white cardstock with VersaFine ONYX black ink, I'm stamping the sentiment. The sentiment in the stamp set is super cute, and it says, enjoy your day, go bananas. So cute. And I'm just using a very old tag die that I've had in my stash that fit it perfectly. So I'll die cut out all my elements, and here they are ready to go. I just need to punch out that center hole here. Just to give my tag a little bit of extra something, I'm going to take an eyelet. It's almost like a brown eyelet, a cross between a brown and a copper, and it fit perfectly in here. Since the hole was a little bit larger, I thought we'd finish it off with an eyelet. Okay, so these are all our elements, and we're going to put them all. Oh, I'm going to take my black marker, and we are going to go around the edges. Whenever you die cut all the way to the line, there is sometimes a little bit of a white line around it. So just on the monkey, since he was so dark, I went around with my black marker. Okay, now we get to work on our 3D window card. And it turned out so fun. I was super excited. Okay, this is the set. It's a 5-piece set. And then this plate here creates your card base, basically, and then there's window frames. You have a square panel with stitch lines, and then you have a tree circle, a regular circle, and then you have some extra leaves. Now the stamp set does come with leaves, but we're not going to use that today. We're going to start off by die cutting out a tree window in this square panel here. We're going to tape them both together. And this is going to leave me a square panel with a tree cut out in the middle. And then after we have this done, I'm taking some Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm going to place this die right over the top, and we're going to die cut out our background panel. Now the instructions say to die cut out one background panel and then one front panel, but I want to do something a little different today. So when you die cut it, there are score lines. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's 3 score lines, and the score lines will fold at the 1-inch mark on the left and right. So I'm going to die cut out another one, but this time I'm going to use the little vines that are in the stamp set. This is going to cut out a window in my front panel, and I'm also going to die cut out my leaves. And I'm going to do 2 of those, but I'm going to alternate my vines to where they're a little bit more offset. That way when I layer them together, it's not the same. Okay, I colored them in through the magic of YouTube, and to save a little bit more time. This is how I'm going to layer them together, and I think that looks so fun. Nice viney background. Okay, this is our back panel, and I want to give it some color, so we're going to use some Distress Oxide inks. I chose 3 colors. and I wanted to do something non-traditional than blues, so I'm going to bring in some purples and pinks. So starting off with broken china, I'm going to do a little shading on the very top, and then I'm going to bring in my dusty CONCORD, and we're going to put this in the middle, and I'm just blending them until I get a smooth transition between the blue and the purple. And then for my very bottom color, I'm going to bring in my my worn lipstick. I thought it'd be fun to have some nice bright colors in the background. And I need to get a Post-it note because my broken china was lifting up with my fingers. And I think that looks good. So we're going to take our water bottle and add some water droplets, give our background a little bit of texture. So what we're going to end up doing is scoring the left and right at the 1-inch score line, and then it's basically going to create a 4 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 inch box. So I'm going to take my very background panel and fold the 1-inch, fold at the 1-inch score line, and I'm going to fold in. So this is our background panel, and I'm using my bone folder to reinforce those score lines. Now, this is where I'm kind of amping it up a little bit because instructions didn't say to add a middle layer, but I thought it'd be fun to add an extra middle layer. And so I'm scoring at the 1-inch mark, and then I'm going to score at the 1/2 inch mark. And again, I'm just using my bone folder to reinforce those score lines. And when I did this, this will fit right on the inside of my background panel, but those that last 1/2 inch is showing on the inside of my frame, and so I'm going to take my paper trimmer and just trim off a 1/2 inch. I didn't need that extra lip on my panel here. The cardstock that I use for this is Neenah 80 pound, and I think hindsight I could have used a more sturdier cardstock, but I wasn't sure how bulky it would be. But that's our middle panel. Now this is our very top panel. So I colored in the front of it. I'm flipping my panel over and I'm scoring at the 1-inch mark, and this is going the outside of my box, and it's going to fit just like that. The camera's kind of hard to tell the definition, but it's super neat. Before I attach my middle panel, I'm going to go ahead and add glue to my leaves, and we're going to place these right underneath the vine, kind of tucking them in there. Okay, next we'll take this panel, I'm going to lay it flat, and then I'm going to add Scor-Tape to that 1/2 inch area on the left and the right. I think Scor-Tape is super strong and it will really hold it together. I'm just going to remove the release paper. Now once we have this done, I'm going to line this one up with my score line and press down really good. And then I'm going to lay it flat and then flip over my background panel right over the top of it. So it's kind of looking a little funny now, but when you fold it left and right, it will lay flat. Kind of flat. I think, like I said, if I didn't use the Neenah 80 pound, I think it would lay flatter with a heavier weight cardstock. Okay, now this piece is going to go right over the top, so the flaps are going to hit my background panel here. I thought we'd better add our monkey to our second layer first. And so there's a little curve line on his hand and also on his tail, and it fits right over the vine beautifully. And so I did glue down his hand on the other side there. Okay, once he's all nice and secure, we're going to go ahead and add some Scor-Tape along the inside of our front panel here. And then we're going to place this over this side panel, and then we're going to lay it flat. We're going to turn it over, and then I'm going to reverse positions of my background panel and then lay it flat once more. And here's where it will lay completely flat, but when you open your card, it looks so 3D. I think that looks super neat. And again, for the top panel too, I used Neenah 80 pound. I think hindsight, should have used a heavier weight cardstock. Okay, now this is my window panel that I'm going to place on the very top, and I did add foam tape behind it to add another extra layer of dimension. I thought we better go ahead and add our little bananas. I think we should have did that earlier, but it worked out just fine. I'm just using my glue, which is good because it's going to give me a little bit of wiggle room to kind of position those on the inside. Okay, once our bananas are adhered, I think that looks so fun. Okay, next I'm going to add a banana with some foam tape onto my little sentiment there. And then I'm going to take some yellow, I'm going to shade in my frame. When I placed my frame with white on white, it was just too much white. So just using my blending tools with the same inks that I used, which again were Worn Lipstick, Dusty Concord, and then Broken China. I'm just adding a little bit of shading to the edge of my frame, just so it pops out on front. Okay, I think that's going to be great. I think this is just so neat. The dimension that you get is just super fun. Now I'm going to remove the release paper off of my foam tape. And originally I was going to lay it flat and then add my window here. But that wasn't a good idea because the circles weren't lining up. So I'm putting it in the box shape and then adding my frame, and then I can flatten it. And then this way all the windows are all lined up. And you can see how that middle piece is kind of bowing. I think a heavier weight cardstock would have prevented that. Okay. We have a few bananas left, but I am going to add some yellow and white baker's twine to my tag. I'm just going to loop it through and then tie a bow. And then I did add some tape behind there, and we're going to do a little tucking with it. And it is overhanging a little bit, but if you were to flip it the other way, it wouldn't overhang. And so I wanted to make sure it was an A2 size card and it would fit in an envelope. So I think this is going to work out just fine. We have a couple bananas left, so this one we're going to attach to the middle section vine, adding a little dimension. So we have some in the very background and then on the second layer. And then for this one, I thought it'd be cute if the little monkey was holding a banana. So I'm going to put it in his hand on the inside there. And I think that that's my card, guys. I think it turned out super cute. And it stands up, too. When the recipient opens their envelope, it'll stand up for them. So a nice little table piece. But I was so tickled about this. If you guys are interested, I'll leave the links down below. And I did want to make sure that it fit in my envelope. And it fit beautifully. The only thing is I added extra dimension with that eyelet in my bow. So there's a little bulk there. But and then also with my front window, but it fits nice. So there's our card for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I thought it would be fun to do something a little bit different, but I was super excited the way it turned out. I wish you a fantastic day. Thanks so much for joining me again, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.